In this video, we will take a look at the slide of uterine or fallopian tube. This slide is stained with hematoxin eosin. In this slide, you can see cross-section through the fallopian tube here, and cross-section through the mesosalpinx ligament of broad ligament, which contains blood vessels which support ovary and fallopian tube. And here is they are fimbriae, finger-like projections of fallopian tube. The part muscular uterine tubes extend from the ovaries to the uterus. On one end, the infundibulum opens into the peritoneal cavity adjacent to the ovary. The other end penetrates the uterine wall and opens into the uterus. The uterine tubes conduct the ovulated oocytes toward the uterus. The ampulla, here you can see cross-section through the ampulla. This is part of the uterine tube. Is the longest part of the tube and is normally the site of fertilization. It exhibits the extensive mucosa folds. Here you can see mucosa folds that form an irregular lumen and produces deep grooves between the folds. The folds become smaller near the uterus. The mucosa of the uterine tube consists of a simple columnar ciliated cell and non-ciliated PEG secretory cells that overlies the lamina propria. The ciliated cells are most numerous in the infundibulum and ampulla and of the uterine tube, and the movement of the cilia is directed toward of uterus because of moving the oocyte, but some cilia move opposite direction for helping sperm. Inferior to the epithelium is the basal membrane and lamina propria with loose connective tissue with blood vessels. The muscularis consists of two layers, and inner circular layer here, and an outer longitudinal layer. The interstitial connective tissue is abundant between the muscular layers, and as a result, the smooth muscle layers, especially outer longitudinal layer, are not distinct. Numerous venules and arterioles are visible in the interstitial connective tissue. Here is a very big artery. Here is a smaller. Also here, it's blood vessels in the interstitial connective tissue. The serosa of the visceral peritoneum forms the outermost layer of the uterine tube, which connected to the mesosalpinx ligament of broad ligament. Here you can see layer of connective tissue with a single layer of squamous cells. This is the serosa, connective tissue with one layer of squamous cells. So this is the uterine tube in hematoxin eosin. And here is another slide of uterine tube, another slide of ampulla of fallopian tube, and this staining method is Mallory staining, which is staining collagen fibers bluish. So here you can see lamina propria. This is connective tissue with blue collagen fibers, and the epithelium which covered the lamina propria, and the blue cells are the ciliated columnar cells, and brown cells are the PEG secretory cells. So this is the different color of covered epithelium, blue ciliated columnar cells, and brown columnar non-ciliated PEG or secretory cells. So and lamina propria, and here starts the muscular layer, circular inner layer, and longitudinal layer. Here you can see the interstitial connective tissue with blood vessels inside with erythrocytes, blue erythrocytes, and the serosa. This is the outermost layer of fallopian tube connective tissue, which is covered by one layer of squamous cells. So thank you very much for your attention.